Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen, and enjoy my stories every day. It's a classic scene straight out of a postcard. The sun blazes in a cerulean sky, its light reflecting off the turquoise waves of the ocean, while the rhythmic crash of the surf creates a soothing backdrop. The beach is crowded with sunseekers and families, the air filled with laughter and the occasional cry of seagulls. I'm sitting under an umbrella, feeling the gentle heat of the sand through my towel, but my mind is elsewhere. Mia, my wife, stands at the edge of the water, her figure outlined against the horizon. She's always been beautiful, but today something seems different. Her laughter is a little too forced, her movements a little too exaggerated. I chalk it up to the stress we've been under recently. Our marriage hasn't been great, a vacation was supposed to fix things. We needed this break. I watch her for a while, hoping she'll come back and join me. But then she's gone, disappeared. I glance around, trying to spot her through the throng of sunbathers and children building sandcastles. It's unlike Mia to just wander off. I check my watch. It's been 20 minutes. My concern turns into mild panic. I get up, shaking off the sand from my shorts. Mia. I call out, moving toward the water's edge. There's no response. My eyes scan the beach, then drift towards the rows of cabanas and lifeguard stations. I head over to the lifeguard station, where a young man with sun-bleached hair and a chiseled physique sits in his elevated chair. His whistle hangs loosely around his neck, and he's busy checking his phone. "Excuse me," I say, trying to keep my tone friendly, "have you seen my wife? She's wearing a red bikini, about high." "Sorry, man," he interrupts, not looking up. "I haven't seen anyone matching that description." I nod and thank him, feeling a pang of frustration. Where could she be? I decide to check the nearby cabanas. As I'm walking towards them, my phone buzzes. It's a text from Mia. The message reads, "I'm feeling overwhelmed. Need some space. Don't worry about me." My stomach churns. We had agreed to come here to reconnect, not to pull away from each other. I reply quickly, "Where are you?" I'm getting worried. No response. The minutes tick by as I search the beach, my unease growing with every passing second. I finally decide to check behind the lifeguard station. It's a small, enclosed area, barely big enough for a couple of people to stand, with a door that's partially ajar. As I approach, I hear muffled voices. My heart races. I push the door open slightly and peek inside. My breath catches in my throat. There's Mia, locked in a passionate embrace with the lifeguard. Their bodies are pressed together, their faces inches apart, and they're kissing with an intensity that feels almost violent. I step back, feeling a cold wave of shock and betrayal wash over me. This isn't just a casual fling. The way they're entangled, the way they're touching each other, it's clear this has been going on for a while. I feel sick to my stomach. Mia and this lifeguard, this was no ordinary vacation. I want to confront them, but I'm frozen, unable to move. I can't believe this is happening. My wife, who had seemed so distant and aloof for weeks, had been lying to me. I didn't even notice the signs. Suddenly, the lifeguard's voice cuts through my haze. "So, when's your brother coming back?" he asks Mia, his tone casual, as though they're discussing dinner plans. My mind reels. Her brother. What on earth? Mia responds with a laugh, "He's not my brother. I just told you that to keep things simple." The lifeguard chuckles. "Got it. Just making sure." The betrayal burns hot in my chest. They've been meeting in secret, and Mia has been deceiving me for who knows how long. I feel the rage build up, my hands trembling as I grip the edge of the door frame. Without thinking, I step back and turn on my heel, walking away from the scene. My mind is racing, trying to process everything. I need to think, to plan. This isn't just about confronting Mia. It's about reclaiming my dignity, about showing her that her lies and deceit won't go unanswered. As I make my way back to the main beach area, the sun now feels like an unforgiving spotlight. Every smile, every laughter I see around me feels like a cruel joke. I've got a lot to figure out. I need to gather evidence, confront Mia properly, and then I'll decide what to do. This vacation was supposed to be our chance to fix things, but it's turned into something else entirely. And I won't let this betrayal go unanswered. I'm determined to make sure Mia faces the consequences of her actions. I manage to keep my composure as I head back to our rented beach house. Each step feels like a journey through quicksand. The betrayal I've just witnessed has left me reeling. I have to get my thoughts in order before confronting Mia. I can't let my emotions get the best of me. By the time I reach the beach house, it's past noon. The place is a charming cottage with whitewashed walls and a turquoise roof, nestled just off the sand. I push open the door, feeling the cool air hit my flushed face. The silence inside is almost deafening. Mia. I call out, but there's no answer. I head to our bedroom, hoping she's returned. It's empty. I look around, spotting her beach bag, sunglasses, and a novel on the nightstand. The unease in my chest tightens. I hear the sound of a car door slamming outside and peek out the window. There's a sleek black SUV parked in front of the house. I see Mia's reflection in the window as she approaches, looking flustered and hurried. She's wearing a different outfit than before, a sundress and flip-flops, her hair tousled from the beach. I walk to the door, feeling a mix of dread and determination. As Mia steps inside, she freezes, her eyes widening when she sees me. "Hey," she says, her voice trembling slightly. "I was just..." "Don't," I cut her off, my tone icy. "I know what you were doing." Her face pales. "What do you mean? Don't play dumb with me." "I saw you with the lifeguard." The words come out sharper than I intended, but the anger is hard to contain. Mia's eyes dart around the room, looking for an escape. "Listen, it's not what you think." "Really?" I challenge, crossing my arms. "Because it looked like a lot more than a casual meeting to me." "I heard you call me your brother." Mia's expression shifts from shock to guilt. She takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. "Okay, look. It was a mistake. It didn't mean anything." "It didn't mean anything." I almost laugh, the absurdity of her words hitting me hard. "You've been lying to me, cheating on me, and you expect me to just brush it off." Before she can respond, there's a knock on the door. I open it to find a young woman in a police uniform. Her badge gleams under the sunlight. "Good afternoon. I'm Officer Lisa Torres. We received a call about a disturbance." I glance at Mia, who looks like she's about to collapse. "Disturbance?" I ask, trying to mask my irritation. "I don't know anything about that. My wife and I are having a personal issue." Officer Torres nods sympathetically. "I understand. If you need any help or if there's something you'd like to report, don't hesitate to let us know." Mia steps forward, trying to salvage the situation. "Actually, officer, I think there might be a misunderstanding. We're fine." "Is there someone else involved?" Officer Torres asks, her gaze shifting between us. Mia's eyes dart to me, then back to the officer. "No, it's just, never mind." Officer Torres gives us a concerned look. "All right. I'll leave my card here in case you need anything. Stay safe." She leaves, and Mia shuts the door behind her, sinking onto the couch with a sigh. "You didn't have to involve the police," she says, her voice muffled. "I didn't call them," I reply coldly. "You did." "Okay, Fine. Mia bursts out. I'm sorry. I didn't know how to handle it. Things got out of hand, and I didn't want you to find out like this. I stare at her, my mind racing. So, you've been seeing him for a while? Mia nods, tears welling in her eyes. Yes. It started as something harmless, but then it grew into something more. I feel a pang of sorrow at her admission but quickly shove it aside. How could you lie to me? You said you were stressed and needed space, but instead, you were having an affair. It wasn't supposed to be like this, she says, her voice breaking. I didn't mean for it to get so complicated. You need to explain it to me, I say, forcing myself to remain calm. Why did you say I was your brother? Mia's face flushes. I was trying to keep things simple. I didn't want him to know about you because I knew he wouldn't understand. It just got out of hand. I shake my head, feeling the weight of the betrayal. I can't believe this. I need time to process everything. I'm going to take a walk. As I head out, I notice the lifeguard, whose name I now know is Jake, sitting on his elevated chair again, scanning the beach. My fists clench as I think about the upcoming confrontation. The scene I witnessed and the lies told have set the stage for a reckoning. The sky has turned a soft shade of orange as the sun begins to set, casting long shadows across the sand. I know that the next steps I take will be crucial. This isn't just about confronting Mia, it's about finding closure and setting things right. But first, I need to know exactly what I'm up against and how deep this betrayal really goes. As I walk along the shoreline, the waves crash against my feet, and I start to formulate a plan. This isn't the end, it's only the beginning. The truth will come out, and Mia will have to face the consequences of her actions. The moon hangs low over the ocean as I walk along the shoreline, the cool night air providing a brief respite from the heat of the day. The beach is mostly empty now, with only a few scattered couples and lone wanderers, their footsteps echoing softly in the sand. My mind races, replaying the scenes of the afternoon, Mia's betrayal, the lifeguard's smug demeanor, the shock of her lies. I reach a small beachfront cafe, the kind with fairy lights strung around the rafters and a soft, jazzy tune playing in the background. It's late, but the place is still open, and the low hum of conversation feels oddly soothing. I sit down at a corner table, ordering a coffee to steady my nerves. The barista gives me a sympathetic glance as he prepares my drink, clearly sensing the storm brewing within me. As I sip the coffee, I spot a familiar face walking in, Jake, the lifeguard. He's alone, his usual tan and confident demeanor now marred by a hint of fatigue. He sits at the counter, ordering a drink and chatting briefly with the bartender. My heart races again, but I force myself to stay calm. This is the moment of truth. I need to confront him and get the full story, to understand how deep this betrayal goes. I take a deep breath and stand up, walking over to Jake's table. Jake, right? I say, trying to keep my voice steady. Mind if I join you? He looks up, surprise flashing across his face. Sure. Have a seat. He gestures to the empty chair. I sit down, studying his face. I think we need to talk. Jake takes a sip of his drink, his gaze guarded. About what? About you and my wife, I say, leaning forward. I saw you two earlier today. Jake's expression hardens. Look, I don't know what you saw, but Mia and I were just. Don't lie to me, I interrupt. I know what I saw. I know she's been seeing you for a while. I want to know why. Jake sighs, rubbing the back of his neck. All right. I'll be honest with you. Mia and I started talking a few months ago. At first, it was just casual. But then things escalated. I thought she was single. She never mentioned a husband. So, she lied to you too, I say, feeling a mix of anger and sympathy. Did you know she was telling people I was her brother? Jake looks genuinely confused. No. That's the first I'm hearing of it. She always talked about her brother like he was some sort of inconvenience. I nod slowly, processing his words. That's exactly how she described me, to you and to others. She never wanted to make it clear who I was because she didn't want you to think twice about our relationship. Jake's face falls. Man, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was like that. I thought she was just trying to keep things simple. I shake my head. It's more than just keeping things simple. It's deceit, and it's ruined everything. I need to understand why she felt the need to lie to both of us. Jake looks uncomfortable but nods. I don't know the full story. All I know is she said her marriage was falling apart and that you two were having problems. I guess I didn't question it too much. I was just caught up in the moment. I exhale, feeling a mix of frustration and resignation. Thanks for being honest. I'll take it from here. Jake nods, clearly relieved the conversation is over. Good luck with everything. As I leave the cafe, my mind is spinning. The conversation with Jake has cleared up some of the confusion but also left more questions. I head back to the beach house, determined to confront Mia with the new information. When I arrive, the house is quiet, and Mia is sitting on the porch, staring out at the darkened sea. Her posture is defeated, and she doesn't notice me approaching until I'm right next to her. Mia, I say, my voice firm but calm. We need to talk. She turns, her eyes red from crying. I know. I'm sorry. I didn't know how to. Save it, I cut her off. I've talked to Jake. I know everything. I know you lied to both of us, and I want to know why you felt the need to deceive me like this. Mia takes a shaky breath. I didn't want to hurt you. I thought if I kept things simple, it wouldn't be as painful. Simple? I say, incredulous. You made it worse. You made it 100 times more complicated. I trusted you, and you betrayed that trust. Mia's tears flow freely now. I didn't know how to fix things. I thought running away with Jake and keeping you in the dark would make it easier. Easier for who? I demand. For you or for me? Mia's shoulders slump in defeat. For me. I was trying to avoid facing the truth. I didn't want to deal with the mess I'd created. I feel a cold resolve settle over me. This isn't just about fixing things. It's about accountability. I need to think about what's next. Mia nods, understanding that there's no easy way out. I know. I'm sorry for everything. As I turn to leave, I feel a sense of finality. The damage is done, and there's no going back. The confrontation with Mia has left me with a clear direction. I need to decide how to handle the fallout, not just for myself but for everyone involved. The moonlight casts long shadows as I walk away from the house, the ocean waves crashing softly in the distance. The road ahead is uncertain, but one thing is clear: this is only the beginning. The morning sun rises over the beach house, casting a soft golden light through the windows. It's a new day, but the atmosphere is charged with unresolved tension. I've barely slept, my mind racing through the conversations, the lies, and the impending decisions. Mia is still asleep when I decide to take a walk along the beach. I need clarity, a plan for what comes next. As I walk, the waves crash rhythmically, their sound soothing yet reminiscent of the storm brewing in my heart. After a few miles, I decide to stop by a small, beachfront market to pick up some coffee and breakfast. The store is quaint, its walls lined with seashells and local crafts. As I'm paying, a familiar face catches my eye. Jake, the lifeguard, is in the store, scanning the shelves with a distracted look. He's alone, which means now might be a good time to have one last conversation with him. Jake, I say as I approach him. Mind if I talk to you for a minute? Jake looks up, his expression a mix of surprise and apprehension. Sure. What's up? We step outside, the morning sun warming our faces. I need to know more about what Mia told you. She's been lying to both of us, and I'm trying to piece together the full story. Jake nods, his face serious. All right. I told you what I knew. She said her marriage was falling apart, and that you were having issues. But there's something else. She mentioned a family secret that she couldn't explain, and it seemed like she was trying to keep things from getting too complicated. My heart skips a beat. A family secret. What does that mean? Jake shrugs. I don't know. It was vague, and she didn't go into details. But it seemed important to her. I thank Jake and head back to the beach house, my mind racing. What family secret could Mia be hiding? I need to confront her one last time and get to the bottom of this. When I arrive, Mia is sitting at the kitchen table, sipping coffee. She looks up, her eyes red and swollen. Morning, she says quietly. Mia, we need to talk, I say, trying to keep my voice steady. I spoke to Jake again. He mentioned something about a family secret. What is that about? Mia's face pales, and she sets her coffee cup down. Oh no, not this again. I didn't want to involve you in this. It's complicated. Complicated? I press. Tell me everything. I deserve to know the truth. Mia takes a deep breath. All right. The truth is, my life isn't what it seems. I've been hiding a lot of things from you. My real name isn't even Mia. I'm taken aback. What do you mean? My name is Sarah, she confesses. And I've been living under a false identity. The family secret is that my real family, they're involved in something illegal. I wanted to escape from that life, and I thought marrying you would help me disappear. But things didn't go as planned. My head spins. So, all this time, you've been lying about who you are and where you come from? Sarah, Mia, nods, tears streaming down her face. I was trying to protect you. I didn't want you to get caught up in the mess I left behind. But I should have been honest with you. Honest? I say, feeling the weight of betrayal crushing me. You've been living a lie, deceiving me, and cheating on me. This goes beyond just infidelity. This is about fundamental dishonesty. Sarah stands, her hands trembling. I know. I'm sorry. I never meant for any of this to happen. I was just trying to escape my past. I stare at her, the anger boiling over. And now? What's your plan? To keep running? To keep lying? I don't know, she admits, her voice breaking. I thought I could start over, but now it's all falling apart. The doorbell rings suddenly, startling us both. I open it to find a tall man in a dark suit standing there. His face is stern, and he holds a briefcase in one hand. Can I help you? I ask, my confusion mounting. The man looks at Sarah with a cold, calculating gaze. Sarah Williams. Sarah's face goes pale. Yes. The man steps inside, his demeanor businesslike. I'm from the agency. We need to discuss your recent activities and the breach of protocol. Your cover's been compromised. I feel like the ground is shifting beneath me. What is this? The man turns to me. I'm afraid your wife has been living under a false identity as part of a witness protection program. Her real identity is Sarah Williams, and she's been under protection due to sensitive information she possesses. Sarah's face is a mask of terror and resignation. I was trying to live a normal life, but it's all come crashing down. I'm stunned. So, the lies weren't just about cheating. They were about hiding from something much bigger. The man nods. Yes. Sarah's past involves serious threats. Now that her cover's been blown, she needs to return with us for her own safety. Sarah turns to me, her eyes pleading. Please, understand. I didn't want any of this. I was trying to protect you and myself. I feel a surge of mixed emotions, anger, betrayal, but also pity. I can't be part of this. I can't keep living a lie. The man nods. We'll need to take Sarah with us. She'll be relocated and given a new identity to ensure her safety. Sarah looks at me one last time, her eyes filled with regret. I'm so sorry for everything. I never meant to hurt you. I nod, my heart heavy. Goodbye, Sarah. I hope you find peace. As the man escorts Sarah out of the house, I watch them go, the finality of it all sinking in. The waves crash on the shore as if echoing the end of a tumultuous chapter in my life. I close the door, feeling a deep sense of closure and resolve. The lies, the deception, it's all behind me now. The road ahead is uncertain, but it's time to move forward, to rebuild and find a new path. The vacation that started as an attempt to salvage a failing marriage has ended in a dramatic revelation, leaving me with a renewed sense of purpose and an understanding that sometimes, the truth is more complicated than we ever imagined.